So it just looked odd to me. So that's where this comes from.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that. It also, I guess, it depends on your persona and the context. If you're cutting an angry promo as a heel and they do that, lean into it. Be a heel. Have a tantrum. What the hell, Because then the crowd's gonna eat that up. Aha, good for you. If you're a baby face and you do it, I guess it's case by case. What were you talking about? Were you griping? Were you beefing about something? It all depends, and that's where improvisational skills as a pro wrestler come in, especially if you're on a live show, reading the moment, reading the context of what your promo was about, what's happening next, your storyline. There's so many different factors that you got to figure into that, how you should react. Yeah, if I'm a heel and that happens, and I'm having a tantrum and I'm mad and I'm showing that, disrespect me like that. If I'm a baby face and that happens, I'm like, hey, what the hell? I'm going to the fans. Hey, you got to see that, let the fans get mad, like, hey, I wasn't done yet, But I don't know, it's a case by case thing.
Guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Like, comment, subscribe, share. Subscribe. We don't have enough. All the viewers we got, you guys aren't subscribing. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong, man? Why you treat me like that? You don't want your little bell to ring on Monday? Bing! Mark it out with MVP Dwayne Swayze. Subscribe, baby.
Yeah,
subscribers up.
Let the algorithm know who to push out to, man. So please, y'all do y'all's job. We're doing ours. What cologne? What cologne are you wearing today, man? What's the scent I'm smelling?
I stepped outside for a little smoke break. That's Eau de Kush 2025.
Oh, right on, right on.
The Oregonian blend.
Yeah, it is. Tis loud, my friend.
I don't apologize for it.
You know what, Pete? So, everybody out there knows you're a fan of cannabis. Have been for a while. You've been fined repeatedly for it in your early days.
Quite a bit, yeah.
The negative stigma on cannabis and its consumption has been taken away. That's
for the most part,
a thing of the past now. So when you're on the road, I know you can't, you're not getting on the first class flights and everything with pounds of cannabis on you.
Pounds, but
when you're traveling, how are you able to get cannabis, man?
Well, now it's legal in many states. You have recreational cannabis, so it's easy, just to stop at a dispensary and pick it up. But back in the day, a little bit more complicated than that, because you couldn't just go to a dispensary. And it's actually funny, man, because being on the road back in the day, you wanted to smoke, like traveling with it is a risk that you take. You mess around. Famously, everybody remembers when RVD was the champ and him and Sabu were traveling together. They got pulled over and they were smoking out and they got arrested for cannabis, and RVD lost the title. He was the undisputed champion at the time. It was a big deal. It was ridiculous that, but you kind of had to profile people. Just be like, hey, look at that white dude with the long hair and the Led Zeppelin t-shirt. Yeah, he smokes. Me and Chavo Guerrero were in Vancouver, British Columbia, at a hotel called the Canby. And, I told Chavo, man, because it was legal in Vancouver, but you just can't, I don't think they were legally selling it. I think you could have it and smoke it, but I don't think they had dispensaries open like that yet. And I wanted to smoke out. And, Chavo was with me. We were having a few drinks and we were looking around. And I remember I asked one of the bartenders and he gave me the cold shoulder. Like, man, don't come here asking for no weed. Like, okay, that's, some places are like that. I respect that, I think I asked this girl that seemed like she was kind of cool. And she's like, I don't know. And walked away. I'm like, damn. So we're showcasing, we're casing the room. And I'm just looking around, profiling, who looks like they smoke. And damn it, we ain't see a black dude sitting back in the corner with dreads. And me and Chavo looked at each other and went, that's the guy.
Yep, there you go.
And damn it if he wasn't the guy. Yeah. I went over, I said, hey, man, I hate to be that dude. He goes, you need some butt? Yes, I do. He goes, no problem, guys. And it was he was at a table and there was a little doorway that led to a stairwell. And on like the little ledge above the door, he went over there and he reached above it and just pulled a sack and, so that was his little setup. That's where he hustled from.
okay.
Yeah, he want to smoke, go see the guy in the corner with the dreads, And I proceeded to smoke out that night. And for all my Canadian fans and friends, fucked up some Tim Hortons. Woo, man. The munchies kicked in. But there was also a thing. It's not as much a thing anymore, but there used to be a thing. Friends of the Road.
Friends of the Road.
Friends of the Road. It was even like once Twitter came about, hashtag Friends of the Road. And it was so when you're traveling and you out and about and you on the road and need a little something to smoke, Friends of the Road come through.